Hello, and welcome back to Go for the Gold. Today, we're going to be talking about end-of-year activities that you can do with your students in your class. After this session, you can view all of the resources on this Wakelet, and you can also view previous sessions as well. The first activity is an activity that was created by all of these amazing Twitter handles, so make sure you go and follow them. And it is an ABC countdown towards the end of the year activities that kind of allow students to have reflection and thought about how their school year went. So the A is ask the audience. Students will create a would you rather slide. So you'll make a copy of this. And then your students will come up with the question. So they will come up with a would you rather question and add it to the shared slide deck. And then you can go through as a class and maybe every single day until the end of the year, the students answer that would you rather question. The next one is a class bingo. So every student you get to know, and then you enter that information on this Jamboard. And then the students will play bingo. And it could be like an inside joke, or it could be something funny that the class might know about that student, or maybe something the class does not know about the student, so that way they can learn more about that student. Then you also want to get students to clean out their Google Drive. So this could be an opportunity for students. There's also using Google Auto Draw to get students to draw and doodle. I like this one. Students will create a badge to kind of symbolize the school year. And so on this Google Draw, there's a template, and if it's of a badge, and the kids will design their badge. And what I kind of did to adapt this activity is I put this in a Google slide, and then I thought the kids could kind of see everybody's shared badges. There's a farewell friends, so the students will create a Flipgrid and they can say goodbye to all of their friends. There's all these fun game boards that the students can play. This one's a really fun reflection, so it's in a Google slide, and the students will talk about their dreams and hopes and how they're going to get those to become reality. So just another great reflection activity for students to start thinking about what is next year, what's my hope, and how am I going to accomplish that? What am I going to do for that in order to happen? And again, everybody's working on the same slide deck. Maybe you might have your students invent something new. You might have them create a jokes template. So using Adobe, you can have them create one of these fun dad jokes that they can kind of review and go over with your class. And maybe it's a joke of the day every single day. Here are different memory books that your students could look at. And you can kind of see here, like this one was by Meredith Akers, and it just reviews the second grade year. Just a real quick thing I learned, my favorites, and then this year. And there's also a couple other books on here that you can kind of review if you wanted to do an activity like this with your student. There's lunch with a friend, meme memories. This one's probably really funny. Waiting for the first day of school, and it's got Yoda. There's a folder of all these different memes, our first Google Meet, and then your students can create fun memes that kind of go over what happened this school year. What could they add to those different memes? This one takes you through an Art Hub artist, and so then you can view that kind of information. Origami online. Students can create a postcard, and then they can send it to their class. Maybe it's about a vacation or a trip that they could or want to take. This one is they might start questioning maybe different students in their class, and so they're kind of interview them. So like, what's your favorite hobby? Maybe it's a student that they didn't get to know this school year. What's your favorite song? Getting really down into the questions and learning more about. Students could create a recipe card about what it takes to be an excellent 6th grade student or 5th grade student. And then they can add their recipe right onto this card, and then you could share this with the class. You could also create like a class cookbook and add this template to a Google slide, and then every student would work together in that Google slide. This one's a flip hunt. So flip hunts are a lot of fun. Students use Flipgrid to record different videos of them doing these different tasks. And so right here, we've got tell your classmates what you're doing, looking forward to this summer. You get 5 points if you do that. Right here, you can get up to 15 points if you make up a poem. So you can get students to be really creative using Flipgrid and doing a flip hunt. Then there's a talent show, so getting students to use their talent, but using Flipgrid for them to show their talent off. Have your students create maybe a unique theme song. And then you could also have them go on a virtual field trip. And right here is a huge Wakelet collection of amazing virtual field trips that your students could explore. This one's a lot of fun, and I changed it from Wakelet just to a Google Slide for my activity because my students are younger than 13, so they can't really create a Wakelet, but they're going to create a survival guide. So like, what do they need to tell next year's class that they need to know to survive? And then the kids could add different texts, videos, images, items, anything that the kids might need to survive their 5th grade or 6th grade year. Then there's X-ray vision. So there is a Jamboard, and the students will talk about what their life will look like in 5 years, 10 years, and 50 years. And they can then create, everyone gets their own slide, and they can kind of talk about, okay, what are you going to do in your 5 years? What about 10 years? And that kind of stuff. You can have them dance and create like a Flipgrid topic and see who's the best dancer in the class. And then this last one, Z, zip your lips, and the students will play charades. So just really fun activities to end the school year, and you could do one of these a day if you have 26 days left. However, we do not have 26 days left. We only have like 14. So right here, I created this template, and I used all the activities from here. But I picked like some of my favorites, so feel free to also kind of use this template. Students are going to start off with a would you rather, and it's a playlist, so they're going to move at their own pace. So some students might finish this in 5 minutes. Another student might finish it in 7, and that's totally okay. Then they're going to create their badge that symbolizes the school year. They're going to do their hopes and how-tos. They're going to create their survival guide, and you can see right here how I put it into a Google slide rather than the Wakelet. So that way students can kind of have a template. And then they're going to do that flip hunt. They're going to end the year with this memory book where they're going to make a copy, and I'll probably have the teachers assign this in Google Classroom. And then they can go through and they can add photos. They can maybe take a class photo before you assign this in Google Classroom, so every student has that photo. And then it just talks about tips to survive whatever grade, projects I'm most proud of, goal for the next school year, and so on. Then after that, the last activity is with Google Drive and cleanup. So tidying up that Google Drive before they go on to the next grade level, because they have a lot of documents probably hiding out everywhere. And so right here is a video that the students will watch, and it just goes over these 5 tips. So talking about grid view, list view, start and recent, folders, colors, emojis, and so on. And so then the students can watch that video to learn more and engage in cleaning up their drive. And then once they've cleaned up their Google Drive, then they're finished. It should be summer. They should be able to enjoy that summer. This is another idea I found, a COVID time capsule. So right here is like an overview of it, inspiration, and then things that they think about. So like, what was your biggest disruption to your life during COVID? How did your community come together to support each other? What new skills did you learn? And I feel like this could be a really good journal for maybe down the road when students who weren't born during this time go back and read some of these events that occurred during COVID. So just 3 tips. Again, I'll add them to that Wakelet activity board so that you can go back and make a copy for your own. Thank you so much for joining, and make sure you check out goldedu.org for more information.